It was nearly 3 a.m. when the sound of raucous laughter jolted me awake. Not the soft chuckle of a neighbor's late-night chat, but a full-on, booze-fueled cackle that cut through my bedroom window like a siren. I stumbled to my phone, heart pounding, and pulled up the backyard camera feed. My jaw dropped. There, in my private pool, were a dozen strangers, led by none other than Margaret, our HOA president, the self-appointed queen of Willow Creek. She was sprawled on my inflatable lounger, sipping from my crystal pitcher, while her entourage splashed and partied like they owned the place. Rage bubbled up, but then I remembered my secret weapon, a heat-activated, non-toxic dye in the pool that turned skin bright blue after 10 minutes. Margaret had no idea what was coming, and I couldn't wait to watch her reign unravel. I slipped on a robe and crept to the patio, hiding behind the azaleas. Margaret held court like a tacky monarch, her bleach-blonde hair sagging in the humidity, barking orders like, "No drinks by the edge," as if she hadn't broken into my yard. A guy in a muscle tee was juggling beer cans, while a woman in a glittery bikini gushed, "This water's like silk." I smirked. The dye, installed after teens kept sneaking in and someone stole my patio cushions, was my cousin's genius idea, harmless way to mark trespassers. It was invisible, food grade, and only kicked in with prolonged body heat. They'd been in for 15 minutes. Showtime. The chaos erupted when the bikini woman shrieked, "Why's my arm blue?" A man leapt up, yelling, "Is this toxic? Am I glowing?" Margaret, legs now visibly cerulean, tried to play it off. "It's just the lights, calm down." But a phone flashlight revealed the truth: arms, faces, necks, all smooth blue. Guests scrambled out, slipping on the deck, knocking over chairs, and smearing dye with towels. One guy tangled himself in my garden hose, toppling a fern. Margaret, streaks running down her face like a melting Picasso, screamed, "Everybody, shut up." It was glorious pandemonium. I stepped into the floodlight. Margaret's eyes locked on mine, a mix of fury and dread. "What did you do?" she spat, stomping over in my stolen sandals. I crossed my arms. "What are you doing in my yard at 3 a.m. with a posse?" She puffed up. "I was inspecting community pool standards. Your pool's under HOA view rules." I laughed. Her forehead was practically indigo. A quiet guy stepped forward, panicked. "Ma'am, I need a hospital. This feels like chemical warfare." I reassured him. "It's food-grade dye, like in sports drinks. Trespassing, though, that's the real crime." Margaret, wiping her arms to no avail, hissed, "This is entrapment. I'll file charges." I pointed to the camera above my door. "That's been recording every splash. Want me to send it to the sheriff or your husband first?" Her mouth flapped like a landed trout. She stormed off, yelling for her crew to grab their stuff, leaving a trail of blue footprints. By dawn, I'd sent the footage to Ellen, the HOA vice president, who'd been itching to dethrone Margaret. She texted back, "This is her Waterloo. 10 out of 10 for flair." But Margaret wasn't done. At 4:30 a.m., she banged on my door, wrapped in a blanket like a soggy toga, claiming she'd called the cops for bodily harm. I leaned out. "Want to explain to them why you threw a pool party with HOA funds?" She froze, then slunk away, muttering about lawsuits. The neighborhood buzzed by morning. Dog walkers smirked past my fence. Teens mimed blue-handed backstrokes. Ellen leaked the video to the right group chats, and by lunch, it was viral. The HOA called an emergency meeting at the clubhouse, a stuffy room smelling of coffee and tension. Margaret arrived, scarfed up like a B-movie villain, sleeves hiding her faintly blue wrists. She launched into a theatrical defense, claiming she'd been entrapped by my rogue chemicals during a safety audit. She waved a clipboard like it was the Constitution. Ellen, cool as ice, asked, "Did you trespass for this audit?" Margaret stammered about visual oversight rights. Tom, a retired lawyer on the board, shut her down. "No such rule exists. The dye's safe food grade. Embarrassing, maybe, but legal." The room snickered. A resident piped up, "I saw the video. You were dancing with a pool noodle." Laughter broke out. Ellen dropped the bombshell. Margaret had used HOA funds for her party. The treasurer confirmed it $200 for community engagement booze. The room erupted. Ellen proposed a vote to oust Margaret. It passed 30-2, Margaret voting for herself. She stormed out, scarf flying, as a blogger snapped her blue-tinted exit for the headline. HOA chiefs smuffed up scandal. The story exploded. Memes of Margaret as a smurf flooded Facebook. Local news ran a segment, The Blue Pool Brawl. Margaret went quiet, but not idle. She filed a lawsuit against me for emotional distress, which my lawyer laughed off in mediation. Then, a plumber named Louise tipped me off. Margaret had tried hiring him to sabotage my pool's valves to force a shutdown. He'd recorded her smug pitch about reclaiming serenity. I sent the audio to Ellen and the city. An inspector confirmed tampering attempts, escalating it to the city attorney. At the next HOA meeting, Ellen played the recording. Margaret's voice, plotting sabotage, silenced the room. Residents aired years of grievances, fines for birdhouses, threats over holiday lights. Tom moved to audit Margaret's tenure. The vote was unanimous. She left, vowing revenge, but her power was gone. The final act was a neighborhood party, the Blue Splash Bash, hosted in my yard. String lights twinkled, food trucks hummed, and kids sported blue face paint. Ellen toasted to pool privacy, Tom to no more tyrants. As we laughed at a slideshow of Margaret's blue meltdowns, her SUV pulled up. She marched in, clutching a cease folder, claiming our party defamed her. Ellen, holding a blue cupcake, said, "Margaret, go home." Tom added, "This event's permitted." "You're not." A neighbor, whose kid got fined for chalk art, said, "You controlled us, not united us." The crowd applauded. Margaret, red-faced, fled. We danced late, the pool glowing with blue lights, a symbol of our reclaimed freedom. The next day, a sign appeared at the clubhouse. No trespassers, no tyrants, no Margaret. It stayed up, a quiet testament to our victory. Margaret's schemes fizzled. Her podcast, Suburban Sentinel, flopped. The neighborhood thrived: barbecues, movie nights, real community. We'd faced a petty dictator and won, not with fists but with unity and a splash of blue. What do you think? Was the dye prank justice or too far? Share your thoughts below on confronting bullies and unfairness in your life. Let's hear your stand.